There is one NFL player whose story I just resonate with. This is my favorite story of this NFL season. I really resonate with Kirk Cousins. See, once upon a time, there was a girl I was crazy about. I really liked this girl. I thought this girl was the greatest thing in the world. I'd always liked this girl, and I'd always thought that she liked me. It made sense. So one day I decided to tell her how I felt. I was bold, and I told this girl how much I liked her. She didn't reject me. She made it very clear she wasn't rejecting me. But she also didn't say she liked me. It was this weird limbo. And I thought, hey, that's great. You ever heard that Dumb and Dumber quote? So you're saying there's a chance. Well, as time went on, I realized, even though she didn't reject me, she didn't say yes. Maybe isn't yes. If this girl had been all in, she would have said that. She would have said yes. It would have been a yes. And I realized the fact that this wasn't a concrete yes was a problem. See, you don't want to be in a relationship with someone who's wishy-washy. Kirk Cousins is the quarterback of the Washington Redskins. Now, he's not a top quarterback in this league, but Kirk Cousins is a really good quarterback. His team, the Washington Redskins, have refused to give him a big contract. In fact, there's been all kinds of weirdness this offseason from the Redskins side of affairs. The Redskins have been really weird and awkward. I don't understand what they're thinking. When the team, the Redskins and Kirk Cousins, could not come to terms on a deal, the Redskins wrote up a press release explaining the situation. This happened earlier this summer. Now, the Redskins had been in the negotiating room with Kirk Cousins quite a bit. So this press release, the team president for the Washington Redskins, the man who is negotiating with Kirk Cousins in the room, the team president for the Washington Redskins went up onto the podium to read the press release. And while he was doing so, he called Kirk Cousins the wrong name 6 times. See, his name is Kirk. Kirk, as in Captain Kirk from Star Trek. Well, the Washington Redskins team president, Bruce Allen, called him Kurt. Kurt, as in Kurt Warner. And it wasn't once. He did it 6 times. He called him the wrong name 6 times. Clearly, the Washington Redskins do not think very highly of their quarterback. Kirk Cousins he's refused to sign the smaller contracts the Redskins have offered him. Kirk believes he's worth a bigger contract, and I would completely agree with that. No, Kirk Cousins is not the best quarterback in the NFL. First of all, however, Kirk has done a great job for the Redskins. Last season, Kirk Cousins threw for 4,900 yards. That's almost 5,000 yards. To put context on that, here are the guys who have ever thrown for more than 5,000 yards. Drew Brees, Dan Marino, Matt Stafford, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. So while Kirk Cousins may not have thrown for over 5,000 yards, it is safe to say he's right up there with some pretty good company. And normally something like that would be enough for a team to sign you to a huge deal. But no, not the Redskins. No, the Redskins are the wishy-washy girl. They will not commit to Kirk Cousins. And throwing for a ton of yards is really cool. But maybe that doesn't matter to you. Well, here is why Kirk Cousins is valuable. This is why Kirk Cousins deserves a long-term deal worth a lot of money. Where would the Redskins be without Kirk Cousins? So with Kirk Cousins, they're a borderline playoff team. He keeps the Redskins interesting and competitive. With Kirk Cousins, the Redskins are in the playoff hunt. They matter. 2 years ago, they made the final wildcard spot. And last year, they were eliminated right at the end of the season. Without Kirk Cousins, the Redskins would be a mess. They would be just like the Jaguars. See, you need a quarterback to win in the NFL. Every offseason, I read about how the Jaguars won the offseason. Yet, every year, the Jaguars just cannot get their act together. It doesn't matter how talented your roster is. You cannot win in the NFL without a franchise quarterback. So I measure value by what happens without you. For example, my car is extremely valuable to me. Without my car, I would have serious issues. I couldn't go anywhere. I'd be trapped. So if Tom Brady's Nike, Kirk Cousins is Puma. If you're buying a pair of running shoes, Puma is not your first choice. If I had to go running, if I had to choose to go running in a pair of Nikes or a pair of Pumas, I would choose Nikes. If I had to choose between Tom Brady and Kirk Cousins, I would choose Tom Brady. Obviously, that's not a tough decision. But now what if you had to run 16 miles on sharp lava rock? And your options were to either run barefoot or spend $250 and wear Pumas. See, now how valuable are those Pumas? I don't know about you, but I would not want to run even 1 mile barefoot on sharp lava rock. See, I'm not comfortable spending $250 on Pumas. But if running on sharp rocks is my other option, it's better than having no shoes. If I have to run on sharp rocks, I'm going to wear Pumas. I don't care. The Redskins may not want to spend big money on Kirk Cousins, but they should. Without Kirk Cousins, the Redskins go back to square one. Do you remember when the Redskins a couple years ago were a laughingstock in the NFL? Gosh, it's funny how quickly they forget what that was like. Does a team like the Redskins, a team that is a borderline playoff team, they were in the hunt last year, do they really want to go back to winning 4 games a season? If the Redskins don't re-sign Kirk Cousins, they will really regret it when they end up looking like the Jaguars. See, the Redskins are making a huge mistake. Now, here's another interesting aspect to Kirk Cousins' story. The Redskins have been unwilling to sign him to a long-term deal worth a lot of money, so they've been franchise tagging him. What that means is they can keep him on their team basically against his will, but they have to pay him a lot of money. So he doesn't get the luxury of a long-term contract, but hey, he gets a big paycheck every year. And every year it exponentially gets bigger and bigger, and they have to pay him more and more money, more and more ridiculous sums of money. So this is why I love the scenario from Kirk Cousins' perspective. Kirk's story really resonates with me. See, I'm a student at Washington State University. And when I decided to come to school, I took a risk. I left a job in LA behind. I realized I didn't want to set up and work with cameras for the rest of my life. I want to be on camera. I want to tell stories. I want to write. I want to do more than set up frame the shot and deal with wires. So I left LA. I left my role in LA and I took out a small loan to pay for college. And I'm okay with that. I'm betting on myself. I control my own destiny, and it's up to me to make it happen, to have a great career. I'm betting that I, Zach Schaumler, can make it happen. And I have no doubt that someday I will find a job where I can pay off my loan. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to make it happen. Kirk Cousins is also betting on himself. Kirk Cousins. That's his name. He took a risk when he didn't sign the Redskins contract. He gave up guaranteed money. See, Kirk Cousins controls his own fate. If he gets hurt or has a bad year, he could miss out on a ton of money. But if Kirk Cousins goes out this season and puts up huge numbers, if he lights it up, he will prove to everyone what he is worth. That's exciting to me. I love that. Hey, he may fail, but I love his guts. I cannot wait to see what Kirk Cousins does. I hope he goes out this season and just shreds it up. I'm rooting for Kirk Cousins.